be looking at AT&T right now.
Randall, you keep my time for me if you would. Let's start with BBY, Gino.
Oh boy. Okay, am I on? Okay, so this one, all of us gap down, filled the gap, past the gap, starting to turn bullish. I call this neutral. Wait for a good setup and a confirmation of trend off the 20 before you go bullish. Next one.
LLL.
Lilly.
Eli Lilly, strong candle today on a day where the market did not have every sector going back up. I know that we kind of had some strength throughout the day. It's got long-term resistance at 88 with earnings coming up, probably the end of July or so. You've got a month there. Could be a tough one to play. I'd play implied volatility building and some kind of casual uptrend type of play here. I like the trend. I like short-term trend. Here. Yeah, a lot of resistance coming up here at about a point or two. NVIDIA, Gino, you've got this next.
Oh, the one that creates the algorithms for Bitcoin. Look at that indecision. That's a big candle today. A lot of ATR there. Indecision. My trigger would be above this indecision candle right here and on the bullish side, but it has slowing momentum. So I probably would go for a confirmation above that green candle, not this red one, the green. I want some good volume. Make sure this thing's committed on the bullish side. Other than that, that's the only way I play it. Next.
Good read on that. NKTR from Jasmine.
Nectar.
Ooh, gap down, bear retracement, pivot candle into the moving average. That's a bear setup right there.
Wow, big time.
About that. Not a great confirmation candle for a trigger, though. Down 1% when it just gapped down
right there
35 points 2 weeks ago. So it is a bear retracement with a trigger candle. It's not a perfect signal because of the volatility that is preceded with. But, yeah, setups there. IBM is next, Gino.
Okay. Oh, I was just going to say IBM is the one I wanted. This one here, we have what's called a very small bullish, but I am looking for this one to break below here on the downside. I don't want to get into why, but I am. Until I get a break below the low side here, I'm not doing anything with this, or above the upside because I need a stronger trend. Not a bad one for a credit spread.
IBM. Oh, such an underperformer. By the way, Warren Buffett, his number one rule, don't lose money. He's been losing money on IBM for years. So he does even, violate that rule at times. ROKU is next. I'll take this one. Randall. Beautiful candles, beautiful trend. It's got some upside here. Earnings were late May, so you've got 2 months till the next earnings cycle here, Randall. Not a great entry point, but you got momentum and trend on your side. Could be a candidate for some of the strategies we worked on last week, like the ratioed back spreads or the bull call spreads, things that have limited risk and some protection to them as well. BY.
B what?
BBY, Best Buy.
The triple BY. Okay.
Oh, no, not Bed Bath & Beyond. You must be, your wife must have sent you to Bed Bath & Beyond today. You might have it on the brain. No,
only if we have time.
Just BBY, Best Buy. Sorry, Gino, my bad.
Oh, there we go. We did this one already.
Yeah, we've already seen it. So this one, moving on. All right, Tesla. I'll let you take this one, Gino, so I don't go off on a rant.
Yeah, I know, because, what's the guy from Iron Man who owns this thing? We call him Elon Musk.
Yeah, I know. He is the new Iron Man for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a pullback to the 20 I'm looking for. A bullish trend, wait for the setup and trigger. Probably even, I'd be fine if it pulled back to here. Look at the volume picking up, though, on the sell-off here. So make sure the volume's dying down on the swing.
We never do this on rapid fire, but go into a 5-minute chart. Let me show people something.
You're going to break our record.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I can't help it. Look at the volatility. After hours volatility, intraday volatility. The opening price, that was probably a prearranged price after the bell. The opening price for Tesla was $365. It then rallied to $370, which is about a 2% move intraday in the first 10 minutes. And then it dropped 4.5% after the bell. The market had already gapped down on high volume in the next hour.
Yeah.
This is not for the faint of heart. There's
no
doubt about it. Stocks with this kind of volatility are difficult to play. And so you got to know what you can and cannot play when you're a trader. Before I completely derail rapid fire, go back to our daily chart and let's move on to STM from Dwayne.
Okay, distant gaps for me to even touch. So unless you know something, definitely protect yourself with options and use spreads on this, because this thing is hard to put a stop loss on because it'll gap over your stop. Here's your indecision candle on the channel. The trigger to enter would be above this somewhere. It probably has a lot of action overseas. That's why it gaps so much. There it is, ADR.
There you
go.
go.
It's hard to play gappers. Use options, not stops, to protect yourself.
Next SRPT, same thing from Dwayne.
Oh,
Dwayne, you like the action on these high flyers, it looks like. Big gap out, obviously, some kind of Sarepta Therapeutics. Whenever you're dealing with drug companies, we talked about this on the podcast yesterday. You've got these kind of gap risks, up, down, back and forth, all kinds of stuff. Be very cautious. Go dig into the news, figure out. I don't know what the news was today. So this would be a news-driven type of event, probably a takeover is what I'm looking at, or a drug approval from what I would guess there. But I'd have to dig into the news. Workday, WDAY from Brian.
WDAY. Yeah, this one here actually is doing a downtrend right there. The trigger would be below this candle to go bearish. Problem is it's already too far in the channel by the time you trigger. So hopefully it'll hang out up here for a while. And this is one of those like bear call candidates, Tim, where if I could get some premium up here, I'd look for it. Next one.
GM, General Motors.
Government Motors right there.
Oh, Government Motors. Well, look at that candle. I mean, first of all, the industrials, products, anything international dependent on shipping, that could be subject to a trade war and tariffs, they got hit hard today.
Yeah.
And GM was one of them. It's bearish right now. That's not the kind of pullback you try to guess where the bottom is, by the way.
No.
There is a very big difference between a small candle into the moving averages and a big fat red candle like that. High ATR type of candle, Gino, more than the ATR today. Be cautious with that pullback on GM till you see slowing momentum. Let's move on to, got to go through all these. See you laters. And Roku.
We did that.
We did Roku, IBM. We've done AT&T.
We did them all. We're done.
Yeah. Ford. No, we got more.
Okay. Oh, love this one. Like Tim said, it pulled back because of the tariff thing. And Ford, I read a story today about that. But it found support and finished the day strong. I actually found like the market's been doing lately. One of these is $12. What do you think of what strategy? I always think covered call. This is one where I sell at the money to protect my downside. And they still paying a dividend? Yes.
By the way, I've always been a Ford guy over a GM guy, so this makes me happy to see the Ford chart is stronger than the GM chart. I'm just saying, guys, I'm just pointing it out. Don't want to start a fight here, but I'm pointing it out. RUT is next. Now, guys, you're looking at the August contracts this week. Obviously, if you're a Condors for Cash Flow system, the RUT ended up positive for the day. Look at the strength there. If you're going to build the bear call, I would also build the bull put, and I would follow my rules and system if you're a system type trader. It's bullish. Those rip-roaring upside, bullish trends, they're the ones that are the most difficult. But you know what they say, you got to trust the process. If you've got that 60-day option lined up and you haven't pulled the trigger at, go out and price it. You got to look at it, in my opinion. If you're going to trade a system, you got to trade a system. RTN from FAD.
Yeah, look at this breaking down here. Weird pattern. It already broke down. We've got downtrend starting right there. Came out of a pennant pattern right there. A little pennant pattern going. So when those break hard, like you see. And, I'm looking at this last support here, Tim. That's the only reason why I think you still might be able to trigger some scalping on the downside. Look at the volume today. I love scalping these. Volatility's picking up. When it finds support, I'll look for credit spreads around this. Got to look in the news on this one, why it's really moving down. They must have lost a contract.
Love it. Netflix is next. From my girl, Emily. Emily, I saw you post this on Facebook as well. What a Momo stock. It's got upgrades and analyst recommendations, and everybody's watching Netflix, and Jerry Seinfeld's got a show, and David Letterman's got a show. But I did hear Oprah got signed with Apple for some kind of content production. Netflix is a juggernaut. They're going to have other people try to imitate them and compete with them. But, man, that is a high Momo candle. It hit 391 intraday, just boom, took off. It was pushing resistance at 398. The market took off, hit another 6 points. This was a great stock here today, Emily. Love the momentum.
Don't try to condor this thing, guys.
Not really an entry point today unless you're day trading or scalping or doing some kind of volatility. But I love this company. Love the chart. Love the action on this one. I think we got time here. EXPE next, Gino. We might have time for one or two more.
Oh, wait. EXPD?
Mm-hmm. EXPE.
Expedia. Okay. Another nice uptrend coming into a lot of overhead resistance right there. A lot of stuff doing that. Gap down, totally recovered, and pretty decent ATR on this. You could get a little bit of a scalp right here if it breaks above this. This is one of those, Tim, where the trend's been going so long in such a tight channel. I hate playing those tight channels. So again, spread trade. I like diagonals on trades like this because they're small channels, diagonal calendars.
Yeah.
And next one.
Well, I think it's kind of like the game of soccer when you're, at the very end of the game, you got enough time to finish your last shot, but that's about it.